So then I'll go back with another video. I'm Strange Wang. He is Nate. This is a clip out from our podcast, Not Topical. We're doing top 5 cop movies in honor of the policeman. Harry Styles is in it. He's been acting up a storm lately.
That's true.
But I gotta tell you about social media.
It's down in the description box below. Pop it open. Click the links. Follow us. It's really easy. There's also links to our coffee account and our Patreon account. And there's a thanks button on the YouTube page if you'd like to help support us. If you would like to help support our channel financially, we'd really appreciate that. So click on those. But if you're not, then subscribe because it's free and you are still really helping us out.
Top 5, no debating. Top 5.
So we're doing top 5 cop movies in honor of the policeman.
Did you have any rules?
No. I gotta be a cop. I don't want no federal agents in this shit.
Yeah, well, that was my thing. Right. Is like, some people are investigators, like,
or they work in a police department,
or they're doing cop things.
Like detectives, they count.
Like Rush Hour, technically a cop movie. Yeah, but like, they're not cops.
It's debatable.
The only time that one is ever a cop is when, dang, I'm blanking on his name.
Chris Tucker.
Thank you. I couldn't remember Gone with the Wind earlier. Yeah, the only time they're ever doing regular cop shit is when, like, Chris Tucker gets in trouble in the beginning of 2 or 3, and he's, like, directing traffic for a little bit.
Oh, that's 3.
Yeah. But they're not cops. They're just out doing shit. He worked for the drug team in the beginning. Not the DEA. He worked for the narcotics division of LAPD.
Nah, he was looking at bombs.
No.
Chris Penn.
No, because remember, he's like trying to set up the deal in the beginning of the parking lot. He's friends with the girl who works bombs.
That wasn't about... I don't think that was about fucking drugs. It was about the C4 in the trunk. He was trying to sell him the C4. And then the 2 cops pulled up.
What? He's on some special fucking division. He's not doing normal cop shit.
If it happens, if it goes out in a police department, I think it's okay.
Okay, well...
Like FBI, I didn't put any FBI on my list.
My rules were... No... Let me make sure that I stay true to this. I didn't say no detectives, but I just said no like federal shit, which, you know, you kind of did too. But the bad guy can't be like a terrorist. Like, you have to be handling some sort of like street level something. And I did make one exception, but I'll explain it when I get there.
Okay. I think we're on the same page on that.
Yeah.
All right, I'll start off. My number 5. I'm pretentious, so I put a little pretentious action movie on my list. Hard Boiled, John Woo. Fucking everything great about cinema, action cinema at that time is in this movie. Guns. It don't fucking matter how many bullets is in a clip. We fucking shooting until there's a moment of tension and it's convenient for both of us to run out of bullets. Very cliched, but because I love the genre, I adore the cliches. A part of me is like, but later on after rewatches, it's fun. It adds to everything, and I really enjoy it. And John Woo, perfect job of encapsulating everything I love about action movies at this time into this film.
Goodness.
The only problem I have with this movie is I hate fucking reading.
Oh.
Reading is for prisoners. I don't like doing it, but it's fairly simple enough. Undercover cop, best friend dies, who's also a cop. He's got to get retribution. He goes after the street gangs who's selling guns. The other undercover cop, the true undercover cop, he finds out who it is. They become friends, and they take down this thing in one of the greatest third acts of all time, a shootout in a fucking hospital. It's fucking incredible.
And I'm not lying!
Cinematography, choreography. Cinematography is good. Choreography, like, dog. Fucking fantastic.
Nice. Never seen it.
Should watch it. 4, Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know why I didn't even think about that.
It's got cop on the title.
Yeah, it does.
Play the music, Con.
Bev, Beverly Hills Cop, Bev, Beverly Hills Cop, Axel Foley gonna find those drugs.
He's a cop that goes to Beverly Hills and does cop shit again, best friend dies. So, cliches with the 5 and 4 already. Just Eddie Murphy's at his prime, and he's one of the funniest motherfuckers alive at that time. And you're letting Eddie Murphy do Eddie Murphy things. He's putting bananas in tailpipes. He's jerking around cops, which is funny because he's a cop. So you get that rebelliousness in there in the performance and the character. And he does what he needs to do to get to feel even, to feel like he did his friend justice. And you get decent action, but you get 10 out of 10 comedy.
Yeah.
So that's why it's my number 4.
Nice. My number 5, Hot Fuzz. Also technically has cop in the title because fuzz is British slang.
Easily could have been top 10. It was one that I was like, I don't want to leave this off.
Yeah.
But very hard for me.
Yeah. Also interesting because like he is quite literally just a regular cop in a very small town. But like the problem that he is dealing with is not your typical cop problem. It's a fucking cult.
No way.
Although he doesn't know that at the time. But yeah, I mean, part of, that Cornetto trilogy, it's funny, great humor. Him and Nick Frost, they're just a great combo. Like the running Point Break thing is great. It's very funny, and that movie's just really, really enjoyable to me all around.
And the Bad Boys references.
And the Bad Boys. Yeah, all of the throws to like the cliche cop movies. 10 out of 10. Number 4 for me. My bottom 3 are actually all comedies, which I don't care because sometimes those make the best cop movies. Number 4 for me, again, because it's kind of like street level-ish stuff. I went with 21 and 22 Jump Street. I did not think that I was going to find those movies as funny as I did. Like, Channing Tatum, he dabbled in comedy up till that point, but it wasn't really what he was known for. Like, he was just kind of like the muscly hunk dude, right? And then Jonah Hill, everybody knew him from Superbad and like the Apatow-esque things that he had done. So I was just kind of expecting more just like complete raunchiness, which it's not like these movies are devoid of that, but they're more just like irreverently funny instead of just like overtly sexual. And it also like flips the whole high school thing on its script because like it's cool to be smart and all that stuff. These movies are just really funny, and like the cop parts of it are just really good and interesting to me.
That was your your 4.
Yeah.
Number 3 for me is Rush Hour. I didn't give a fuck. They cops. So I went with Rush Hour.
I don't even think Jackie Chan is a cop. He's like
When they go to
he's like head of security or some shit for this.
In 2, he works at the department.
Stupid.
But that's like not what he was doing in 1. Like it doesn't even.
I don't give a fuck.
It's your list. You do what
I
you
love
want.
Rush Hour. This shit is funny as fuck. It has the like 90s black comedy, easy to best comedy, comedians, shows, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the best. And Chris Tucker, one of the best at it, especially at that time, coming off Friday movies like that. 10 out of 10 on the comedy because of Chris Tucker. And then you added a different type of comedy with Jackie Chan's fighting style of comedy. Also good, but the action, it puts it on a 10 as well because the choreography is fucking fantastic. And the editing is nice because Jackie Chan's doing the shit himself, so you don't want to have mad cuts and have wide open fight scenes, and it looks even more impressive when he's doing all this crazy shit. And then you got the obviously buddy cop dimension in that as well to add more comedy to it. And then you add more comedy into it because he's from China and he is from
The whole different worlds thing.
yeah, California?
Yeah, LAPD.
Yeah, LA. So 10 out of 10 on the comedy, 10 out of 10 on the action. The story is whatever. It's a basic story, and it's exactly what it needs to be. So for that, I absolutely love it. A little better than Rush Hour 2, just because, shit's funnier. The stakes feel more higher in the first one. And you get all the jokes repeated kind of too. So Rush Hour 1 superior of the Rush Hours.
Yeah. I guess I'm not arguing that they're not technically cop movies, but they just broke my like terrorist rule.
Oh, they went big.
Yeah.
They went big for sure.
Yeah.
Number 2 for me, Heat of the Night, and I ain't talking about the goddamn TV show. You got Virgil Tibbs. They call him Mr. Tibbs. Classic movie. Again, different worlds. In this, I guess technically, it's a buddy cop movie. That's a reach. Because they're working together on a case. They're forced to be working together on a case. Obviously, Athens, Georgia is very racist in the 1970s or 60s when this film takes place. And having a black forensics expert and detective helping you, being forced to help you, doesn't make the best. And obviously, who did it? Well, let's blame the black guy. So you got tension from the start of the film. And then, just like, if he accuses any white person, they're getting mad. So you got people trying to kill Virgil Tibbs throughout this film. You got this conflict in the sheriff. And the back and forth dialogue is amazing. But the case itself is interesting enough to be its own film without the race dynamic in there. But this film, so fucking good. 9.8 out of 10 Wings. Like, top tier filmmaking. It doesn't say too much. It lets shots speak. The filmmaking in it is excellent because of that. Like, dialogue. It knows when to shut up and let these actors fucking act because they're good at what they do. Authentic, I assume. Because I was watching people like, damn, that's motherfucking so-and-so's dad. Like, that's how that motherfucker acts. Like, so I almost say it's authentic to a point as well. Just a good fucking movie. Easy investment. Great tension. And that's what you want in a cop movie. Because it's funny. Because I can make a list of top 10 cop movies easy. Cop movies are very good. We left a ton of them off. And to watch for me. Colors. Hot Fuzz. A lot of good cop movies were left off this list. But they all have great investment. But it's funny, everyone hates the police. Fuck the police.
But we love cop movies.
Very weird. That's my number 2.
That was number 2. All right, my number 3 is The Other Guys.
Very funny.
It's so funny. And again, I have 3 comedies as the bottom 3 on my list. I generally don't like modern comedies.
Really?
2010 till now, there are very few comedies that have actually made me like laugh out loud. The Other Guys does. I love that movie. It cracks me up. Like the whole Will Ferrell playing the straight man, but he wasn't always a straight man. He used to be a freaking pimp, and like is in denial about the fact that he was a pimp. His whole "my wife's not hot" thing, but she clearly is. Like, it's good shit. I love that. And then Mark Wahlberg, like this is one of my favorite Wahlberg performances. I don't know why. Like, Wahlberg needs to do more comedy. I love him in a comedy. I know that movie with him and Kevin Hart just came out, but Kevin Hart gets under my skin, so I haven't watched it. But, yeah. And, the cop stuff in it itself is, like you have some non-realistic shit. Like, obviously, they're not going to be that dumb and still be detectives, right? No police department in the world has detectives so far outside of regular procedure and still keep their jobs. But I do love the bit at the end where Michael Keaton is like, because they're like talking about, I can't even remember their names, but Dwayne Johnson and Sam Jackson's characters. I love the part at the end where Michael Keaton's like, you guys know they weren't good cops, right? And it's just like, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And like the fact that all of it ties back into the police department, like the big conspiracy, like financial plot, like the target is the police pension fund, and so that kind of keeps it all like in the circle. And I think that's actually just good storytelling.
I thought you hated that movie.
The Other Guys?
Yeah,
I love The Other Guys.
Like, all those homeless people probably got the idea of fucking in your car from that movie.
Dirty Mike and the Boys.
Yeah.
So yeah, me and the people I work with actually like make jokes about Dirty Mike and the Boys pretty frequently. But yeah, I love that movie. Number 2 for me is the one that kind of breaks my terrorist rule, but I kept it anyway. It was Die Hard. What?
Go ahead.
Well, the reason it breaks my terrorist rule is because John McClane is still very much just a regular ass cop. Like, he's not some high intelligence detective who has been on this case or been assigned to it. He just stumbles upon this shit because he went to go get his wife, and now he has to deal with it. So the fact that and I understand that, like, there is no shortage of Die Hard commentary that talks about how John McClane is like the everyman's action hero, or Bruce Willis in general. He's not super buff like Schwarzenegger or Stallone, and he did all this stuff for, being an audience surrogate in action movies. But even just specifically talking about like the role of the cop in the movie, he's just a regular cop, and he just happens to have to handle terrorists because of how things ended up, and he does it. What?
The greatest cop movie of all time. It's my number 1.
Is it Die Hard?
Lethal Weapon.
I'm not done. That was my. Oh, wait.
That's
Oh,
your
I'm
2.
just kidding. That was my 2. Yeah.
Number 1, Lethal Weapon. For some reason, I thought that was your number 1.
What? Die Hard?
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's why I got mad. But Die Hard would have been my number 6. That was the one that's like, do I leave a classic off? Or do I be pretentious and try to get the audience I want? I was like, I'm going to be pretentious because I'm an asshole. But Die Hard it's great. But Lethal Weapon, greatest buddy cop movie of all time.
No debating.
So you got the dynamic, never done better, of, hey, you're this person, I'm this person, we don't like each other, but we learn to love each other because our job brings us together. Fantastic. Great storytelling. Great dialogue. Action. Fantastic. Are they terrorists? Are they not? Who gives a fuck? They're bad guys. And Riggs and Murtaugh, they go get down to the bottom of it, and they go find these motherfuckers and arrest them or kill them, depending on who it is. But 10 out of 10. One of the greatest movies of all time, I think. I absolutely love this movie. I think it's one of the most underrated movies of all time because Richard Donner is such a great director. Shane Black, the writing in it is superb as well. But, like, it's so underrated for the directing. Suicide turned into this great movie, and the investment and the following and how it develops is very logical. Everything in this movie is logical. The franchise, each movie is less good.
They literally have him arrested.
The ending fight is...
And then they're like...
Their friendship.
Hey, let's take him out of handcuffs.
No.
Now that we have this incredibly dangerous human being detained...
Bro.
We got to take him out of handcuffs so they can have their fist fight.
It was about trust and love and friendship.
It wasn't good storytelling. It is not logical.
Mr. Joshua got that ass cut by Mel Gibson.
It's not logical.
Another Jew hater. If you watched the podcast, we talked about Kanye's Jew hating ass about Yeezys a little while ago. But Mr. Joshua got an ass whooped by Mel Gibson. And then he took the cop's gun because it was re-arresting him. He went to shoot and raise a Murtaugh at the same time. Bah! Got his punk ass. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful. I cried. It's amazing. And this film later on lets me get Leo Gets from Joe Pesci. 10 out of 10. Greatest cop movie of all time.
Well, it's not because Heat exists, which is my number 1. And there are lots of like really good crime drama movies that I like thought about when making this list. But so many of them...
He's just a regular cop.
Yeah.
Fuck!
You forgot about Heat?
I thought he was bigger.
No, dude. I mean, he's like...
I just assumed they robbed so many places that it went higher up. But yeah, he's a fucking regular cop.
Right.
Damn!
Fuck!
And they have to contend with federal agencies that are trying to come in.
Yeah.
And take things from them.
We did something and talked about Heat like a month ago. And like...
I talked about
it was on the podcast.
I talk about Heat every chance
Since we've been doing the podcast, we talked about Heat in some movie. The De Niro. And I watched it right afterwards.
Yeah.
How did I forget about... Fuck.
Stop being stupid.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah, so there's lots of crime dramas that I thought about when making the list, but so many of them just kind of focused more on the bad guys. But Heat, you get like a perfect split because you have Pacino and De Niro, and why would you not? Like, they have equal billing in this movie. So it's literally cops and robbers, and it's like, it is a fleshed out, excellent crime cop movie based on like essentially a game that we played as kids. The cops have to catch the robbers, and the robbers are hard to catch, but he's really good at his job. He's really good at his job. So it's really just like a big old chess match where they're each like the leader of their team, and they're moving their pawns around and trying to figure stuff out. And she's got a great ass. And like, I love that movie. It's, I think to me it is a near perfect movie and easily my favorite cop movie.
It would have been my number 2. As much as you love Heat, is Heat in your top 10?
Movie, like favorite movies of all time? Probably. I haven't like really sat down and revisited like that list in a while. We haven't done that list in a while. But it's got a really good shot.
Try to give it a breather, you know?
Yeah.
Wait a year or two before
Yeah.
we do it.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Tell us down below in the comment section your top 5. Scroll back up, hit the like button, share the we both suck today. Share the video. And subscribe.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.